buy a 2013 BMW R1200RT. What you'll need to do this is ratchet, a funnel, paper towels, crush ring, oil filter socket, an 8mm Allen wrench, 40 weight oil, and an oil pan. So these motorcycles are very much like a car. They have a belt-driven alternator, a tri-clutch, and a screw-on oil filter. So these are a lot like diesel trucks, as that they have inverted oil filter and a female oil plug, and they run on 40 weight oil.
So with an 8mm Allen wrench, we just crack that free first of all, and then we'll pull in the drain plug from underneath. There should be just enough room for your wrist and the socket, and you already broke it free, so you don't need a bunch of accoutrements. So we'll just spin that out and drain the 40 weight oil. If you have the engine warmed up, you may find it comes out a little faster. A lot of people are adamant that you do that, but it's not necessarily critical. Having gloves doesn't hurt either. Using a 1-inch extension and the oil filter cup, you just cue it up, crack it loose. And when I say crack it loose, I mean drag slowly. Just give it a few turns. What I do with my 1-inch extension, if I'm using it, it's going to be in a tight spot. So I've got mine cut with a grinding wheel so that it has a little bit of grip to it. I'll just tip it over and tip it up a little bit so that it can drain.
To speed draining, you can remove the oil fill cap from the left side of the bike. Although it's recommended to use a special tool for oil cap, you can just use a flathead screwdriver. Putting the plug on the socket makes it easier to change out the crush rings. With the drain pan in the way, it's difficult to see the hole, so you can use your ring finger to guide the drain plug up to the hole. Using your finger, you apply fresh oil to the O-ring.
And you just take the O-ring, filter and all, apply it to the motorcycle and give it a spin. You just get it just the right angle for it to take.
With the filter and plug in place, you can move the pan out of the way. It's ratchet time.
Ratchet time! So torque it down to this many Newton meters or foot-pounds. Get your filter cup and your 1-inch extension. Now you're supposed to hand tighten these, and you're only supposed to use the cup to loosen it. But you can't really get your hand in there if you have an engine guard. So using a big trumpet type filter, you can get past the bolt that goes right through the oil fill hole, and you'll be able to get your oil in there. It takes 4 liters, and there's no dipstick. This is actually a really nice feature. It's a lot like the Honda CRF 450Rs in that it has a sight window, a little glass window that you can see through right there. So you just fill it up. If you go past the top of the window, you're too full. If you don't see some oil in the window, you're too low. All right, Spanky. Let it go.
Okay, let's pour it in the funnel.
So the manual says to use 20 W50 oil. A lot of people have found that 0 W40 works pretty well. So as you pour that in, you'll get most of it in, and you'll look down here in your little sight glass, and you'll find that your oil's pretty full. You can see that there's an orange ring to it. So you see it's showing up in the glass now. So you want to slow down or maybe even stop and let it pour in. Right where it's at, right about there is about perfect. At this point, there's no oil in the filter and you're going to have a false reading. You can see we still have the trumpet funnel. We've got the motorcycle turned on. Go ahead and start it up, Spanky. We'll run it for a few seconds. You can hear the oil circulate and it's good to go. It didn't sit for too long and it had been run recently, so it's no real big deal. So we've run it, so we've got our filter full of oil. Like I say, you can pour oil in it to begin with. A lot of people do that. You know, diesel trucks, it's real common to do that. So we're just coming back into the range. About halfway. Anywhere in there's fine. I like to have mine on the higher half, so that way you can have a little leak or something and still be okay to go. Now we're just past half. That's about perfect right there. So lastly, we'll just pull this back. Take your funnel straight up. It's tight in there, folks. Look at that bolt, just right in the way. Stick this into the drain pan, slide that to the side, and you got to check and make sure that your O-ring's down in there, and then you put your cap back in. The O-ring does not go on the cap. There's no space for it. It just resides down in there. You don't want it to fall in, but you don't want it to not be there either, or you'll have a leak. You just take your cap, screw it back down, and your oil change is complete. Should sound a lot better this time. Actually sounds more tinny but quieter than it did. It sounded a lot like a tractor. This needs the valves to be adjusted still. This was a police bike for the Las Vegas Police Department, and it's a little behind on maintenance. That's why they got rid of it.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. If you like the video, click like, and always subscribe. Thanks for watching.